This is Grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, Low Flockulators. Continuing with this message 7. This is going to be part 5. It's about balance. And you know about what he said about making peace between the two, right? And you also know what it says about blessed are the peacemakers. And you also know what it says about how Abba hates those who sow discord and hatred between brethren. So we know that it's about brotherly love, and things that disrupt brotherly love are listed there in the Mosaic Law. Ultimately, the things that distort brotherly love or seek to destroy brotherly love and brotherly harmony. You see? Now, if you're going to have a nation, what do you think the nation should be built upon? What would be your foundation stone? And then I'll tell you what would be mine in my nation. Okay, cool. For my nation, the cornerstone would be that you love one another. That's what the nation is built upon. Doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. I would say that's loving them. You see that there, little flock? Well, in order to love truly, it requires balance. You see that? Which are what the 7 years are going to do for you, to bring you to a perfect balance so that you can receive the thing that you sought for. Like I referenced earlier when I said about Jacob, he had to work 7 years. Well, he was thinking originally he was working 7 years for Rachel. And he didn't get her, so he worked 7 more years. You see? And Jacob does things in his life that show that he's neither over righteous nor over wicked. He's walking a very fine line. Fine line means straight and narrow. I told you, straight, people think it just means a straight line. Straight means a very narrow place, a very thin place. You see that there, little flock? So you see how it's connecting like Legos? Everything does. Like I always tell you guys, that place of balance is a very narrow, thin place. And that's why I said few find it. It's so narrow. Because it's the place between the over-righteous and the over-wicked man. Remember I talked about making peace? Those are the two that are made peace between the two. And made one new man out of them. The over-righteous and over-wicked. And see, with us, little flock, we are aware that we have those two things within us. Part of my example that I'm going to use here is a statement by Paul. 2 statements by Paul. One statement. I am chief of all sinners. Okay? Now mull that over, chew it over, and taste it and see what it comes to. What you get from it, in other words. It's pretty clear what he's saying, right? Chief means the head. Now check this statement out that he made. I am a Jew of the Jews. I want you to hear that good today. Now let wisdom do her work. Can you piece this together? Because the grandson going to help you do it if you're struggling. You're one of the little lambs that ain't quite as fast as the other sheep. I'll help you along. I'll put you on my shoulders and carry you there. You see? But I just want to see how far along you are. So, chief of all sinners, I am a Jew of the Jews. Now, if a Jew is considered someone clean, see, righteous, holy, and set apart on the earth, then he is saying he is that to the extreme. You see that? But he also said, I am chief of sinners. So when I was in my old life, I was the most over wicked you could possibly be. And then when I decided to go on the straight and narrow, I became the most over righteous you could ever see. Because the same thing is working in you. If you got wisdom, you can understand what the grandson is saying to you today. Woo, thank y'all for the shade, because it's a hot one today, y'all. I'm going to be sweating on this video. I'll tell you that right now. You see that? For anybody that says I ain't working right now, well, I'm sweating by the sweat of my brow. But it's light work and easy work. I'll tell you that right now. So, chief of all sinners means you're over wicked. Chief of all Jews means you're over righteous. Because those were the guys that was coming around Yahushua that he was calling hypocrites, Jews. So out of among those over righteous hypocrites, one had to be snatched out. That was Paul. And he's the one making the statements that I told you. So then, so it is with you. You have an over righteous side inside of you, warring with an over wicked side inside of you for every decision that you do. This is why you have to go back and forth before you make a decision. That's called double-minded. But be ye single-minded, because the double-minded man is unstable when he makes a decision. He's warring back and forth. Well, be neither one. And I can prove that with scripture, brother. Don't be over righteous or over wicked. Am I just saying that to you guys because I'm trying to trick you out of being clean or something? Or is that what the scripture actually says? Well, it's what the grandson actually says in the scripture. See? Solomon, that mean when I say grandson. The one who built the temple, see? For y'all who follow at the School of Marvelous Light, you know what I'm talking about. Be not over righteous much, and be not over wicked much. Chief of all sinners is over wicked much. Jew of the Jews is over righteous much. Be not either one of them guys. That's why people have a struggle with Paul's writings. You see what I'm saying to you? Because they deny their double-mindedness. They deny the fact that they're doing this warring. They're hypocrites. Just like Yahushua said they were. Paul making it clear, I was the chief of them. Chief of hypocrites. I was filthy as hell while walking around thinking that I was clean. And now I got this damn message from the evil one who buffets me all the time now. Can't get rid of the thing. Well, yeah, we all have a memory of what we've done in the past, of a sin we've done that brought us shame. And I'm sure when Paul stood there as they stoned Stephen, was a thorn to Paul after the fact. That he did not love his brother. He did not give grace to his brother. He did not show mercy to his brother. Isn't that clear? But he was hand in hand with those who did the iniquity and wickedness. Stood in agreement with them. So that's the chief of a sinner. Like he admitted so. So can a man admit that about his own life, or is he just going to try to clean the good up when he's around so-called righteous people? I mean, trying to clean the bad out when he's around righteous people. And when he's around over wicked people, he want to clean the good out and be over wicked. Well, don't be double-minded and choose this day who you serve, because you can't serve two masters. So like the scripture says, out of twain, he makes one new man. If you're not able to see your twain, then you can't understand what I'm talking about today. When you were a kid, if you went to the store, right, and you didn't have any money, and you looked at a rack and had some bubblegum Starburst and all that shit sitting up there, and let's say you wanted a pack of Starburst so bad, but you didn't have any money, but you looked around and was nobody there, and a thought came to you and said, why don't you just take it? What side is that? Is that the over wicked or over righteous side? What side is it? Okay. Now, the other, when you say I should just take it, there's another side that goes, no, but that would be stealing, man. I might get caught and go to jail. Who is that? Would that be the over wicked side talking, or the over righteous side? All right, then. So do you see what I mean? It's easy to understand that dilemma as a kid in a damn candy store, but it ain't the same thing when it's you as a grown person, when you making a decision you make. Yes, it is. But if you already know who you are, I'm balanced. So the decision is easy for me. It ain't a hard struggle going back and forth because I'm not double-minded weighing my options here. You see what I mean? The truth doesn't have to weigh anything. The truth pierces right through. It doesn't have to go, wait a minute. Let me check the surroundings before I can go in there and expose myself. They don't care about the surroundings. Does the light care what's in the room before you turn the light on? As if it goes, wait a minute, don't turn the light on yet. There's a dresser in here. You got to remove that dresser or the light won't come on. I won't turn on if you don't get that dresser out of here first. The light doesn't do that. The shit come on regardless of what you got in the room. That's how the truth works. You see that there? And so since he wants you, Alex, I know it's windy right here, y'all. Y'all have to bear with me. gives you balance. If you're his elect chosen, he has drawn you out, then he's going to bring you to that balance through those vicissitudes that I've been telling you guys about. Over righteous man can't do some of that stuff that I was talking about. Neither can an over wicked man do some of that stuff that I was talking about. But a balanced man can do everything. That's what the scripture says about he who have faith, what? Believe he can eat all things. See how it going together? What did Paul say? All things are lawful. And then here they come. Here come the over righteous. I know how it works. The over righteous get up in arms at that statement. Even though the very next thing he says is, but not all is expedient. In other words, if I go to a wedding and they got some wine there at the reception and everybody's drinking, having a good time, the over righteous man does not drink the wine. He says, I don't drink that. I don't drink it. And then they got some ribs there at the reception. And he's asking all these questions about what kind of meat it is and what kind of this it is and what kind of that it is. There are scriptures that say, eat without asking for your conscience sake. Well, I don't know if that's beef rib or not, but I want some ribs. Gee, I'm eating. Over righteous man will get turned off by that and be ready to stone you and say you broke the law. That was pork rib, could have been. You don't know, you didn't check and see. We need to find out first before we even investigate. Imagine that at a wedding reception. Imagine a guy that's like that. Hey, what's in that wine you're drinking? You guys are drinking wine? Come on, man, you guys drinking tequila over here? Put that shit away. They don't want that guy at the party. But Yahushua was there. And he even increased the wine. Because he's a balanced man that's teaching you how to be. You see that there? If he was over righteous and clean, then the Jews would have accepted him. If he was outside polished, came looking all perfect and brilliant and everything, but he came lowly, it'd say, riding on a colt, humbly. So they wasn't feeling that because that's not outward glory. But it ain't about outward anything, is it? You see? So you go through these things throughout this 7-year journey that you go through things that are going to test you to see just how righteous you believe you are and just how wicked you believe you are. What are you willing to do here? So let's say something simple. Like I'll give you guys a simple example. When I came out the 40, I was laying on the side of the road. This is about the 41st day. I'm laying on the side of the road and I'm so weak that I'm just laying there passed out. And as I'm laying there, a guy comes up to me and he says, hey man, you all right? What's going on out here? I said, that's all I could muster. Food. I was hungered, as the scripture says, because I had been out there for 40 days fasting. But it was done and complete. I had confirmed it with Abba. He was like, yep. But you got a few more little tests to pass through. You see? But as I'm laying there, this man goes, well, I got some tacos in my car. If you need something, you said you're hungry, I got some tacos. He had 2 Doritos Locos tacos. And he gave them to me. And he gave me a bottle of water. And he warned me and said, be careful while you're out here, man. There's a lot of coyotes, free coyotes running around out here. Which I knew because I had seen a coyote chasing a deer trying to have him for lunch one day while I was taking a whiz standing on the log out there in the 40. So I knew they was out there. I had seen them running around playing. Saw foxes running, raccoons, all kind of stuff. So he's like, be careful, man. And get strong and God bless you and all this. And he pulls off. Now, the over-righteous man would not even think about eating these tacos. Do y'all see what I'm saying? It's something as simple as this. He wouldn't think about doing it, especially after 40 days of fasting. But I did eat them. And when I bit my first bite of the first one, I cried. Just telling you guys the truth. And I didn't understand it. I'm like, oh, I didn't think the first thing that I would be eating after 40 days of fasting would be Doritos Locos tacos with some fire sauce on it. Because I was cold and freezing. He was like, okay, but it's August, but I'm near death, so I'm cold and freezing. He was like, this maybe heat you up, and it did. After I put it on the taco and ate it, I was sucking the sauce pack, and it was actually warming me up. The peppery sauce. But I didn't know I was going to be laying out there for a whole nother day. I didn't know that. So I understood why I had the tacos then. It gave me enough strength to last. You see what I'm saying? But over-righteous man couldn't do that. It's just a small little thing that I'm describing to you, because that's me I'm telling you about, the over-righteous man. An over-righteous man went out there, but a balanced man came out. And that's just the truth of the matter. You see that? And through the 7 years, you go through both. You go through the fiery trial of the over-righteous man, and then you're going to go through the fiery trial of the over-wicked man. And then at the end, out of the twain, he has made one new man and made peace between the two. Peace means, remember the kid I told you about? Damn, I want the Starburst. I should just take it, man. No, man, that'll be stealing if you do that. Don't steal it. See? That's not having peace between the two, is it? But it said he did. So that means when you make a decision, they both say, okay. When you make a decision to say no, they both say no. That's all there is to it. That's called single-minded, isn't it? Let thine eye be single, and your whole body shall be full of light. But when you're warring, you're not shining radiant like the rainbow. You're not. When you're warring inside of yourself, going back and forth. And people are doing that to this very day. They're struggling with it. Everybody is. Because the destination is balance. That narrow path. You hear what I'm saying? That's why the one who had to come and prophesy again in Revelation named John, the angel that put the book in his mouth was standing on the water and on the land. That's why. It represents balance. Dominion over both halves. You see that there? The land representing your thought, concrete. The water representing your feeling and emotion. You see that there? And these two make one. It's a mystery concerning Christ and the church, the Bible says. So, you're going to do things that may offend. Now, another thing that I did when I came out of the 40, my dad was there tending to me when I came out. And this is maybe like the second day or something like that. The second day, I woke up and it says, "Are you hungry?" And I'm like, "I'm so hungry, you can't even imagine it. I'll eat up everything." And my dad was like, "Well, this is one of your favorites when you were a kid." And my dad at this time was feeling really soft for me. You know, as a kid growing up, he was very firm hand on me. I love him for it though. And I appreciate it greatly that he did this for me as a child. Straight and firm on me, kept me on the straight and narrow path. But in this case, he saw how weak and vulnerable that I was and what I had been through. And he had great compassion on me. And he said, "Son, I'm going to make you some food that you love back from when you were young. It's one of the favorite things I used to make for you." I said, "Cool. All right, cool." He's like, "I'm happy to do this for you. I'm so glad to do it." So it really warmed my heart. And I knew he was doing it out of love. So whatever he was going to bring, which I didn't know at the time, whatever he was going to bring me, I was going to accept it. Why, guys? Because he already just told me, "I'm doing this out of love for you, son. I want to comfort you from what you've been through. That's your intent of your heart. Well, give me whatever you give me." And lo and behold, when he came in front of my plate, it was a bunch of wonderful, great items on there. And guess what else was on there, guys? Some crispy bacon fried up there. Some crispy ass bacon fried up there. Now, mind you, before I went on the 40 and everything, who did I tell you went out on the 40, guys? The over-righteous me, the clean one, the pious one. I showed you guys the pictures and I told you how I got looking like that. The outside of the cup was shining so brightly because the inside of the cup was only eating clean. You see that there? Eating a very strict diet. Not tolerating anything being put into here that defiles. Over-righteous. And so here's my dad giving me a plate after being that guy, coming out of the 40, being in this high spiritual state, strong in the spirit, the Bible calls it. I'm eating bacon, crunching all into that shit, dipping it in the syrup, happy as hell, swallowing that shit. Oh my God, it's so good. He said, "Yeah, when you was a little boy, you used to love this." I still do, obviously, but I forgot along the path because I became over-righteous. So I cut pork out completely. See? Why do you think I did that? Because Moses told me to. This is what I mean about all the people who are stuck there. I was there too, guys. And it took me to go on a 40-day fast to break free from it. You want to have to go through that? It took the Israelites 40 years in the wilderness to break free from it. and most of them perished. You want to go through that? So then hearken to the warning. To be not over righteous much, nor over wicked much. Any good relationship is balanced that way. I told you, a lady in the street, but a freak in the bed. That's the desirable woman, I think. I believe so. But an over-righteous man would not. See? An over-righteous woman would be offended that I even said that. She's got her veil on, covering and shit, her head and everything, with her dress down to her tippy toes and everything, walking all lightly and everything, sitting in the temple 24 hours a day and all this. But we can't even talk about making no love, even though that's how all this came to be. I can't even mention that, or you're offended. Oh, you over-righteous, girl. I don't want you. How we gonna make some babies? Because I know when we go make them, I'm about to be free as hell when I'm in there, sweating, moaning, talking shit, asking you all kind of nasty questions and shit. I'm just being real. I'm gonna put it on you. So then don't sit around here and act like, oh no, we have to only do it in missionary style and lay in this proper position for 10 minutes and look at each other's eyes first before we ever even embrace. And then we have to burn some frankincense and then put it into the air and sing a hymn first. And then what? What? You too over-righteous. Can't mess with you. I can't mess with you. Nor do I want, like I told you, that whore. I don't want her neither. I don't want the one that want me like that and will be a freak. But then as soon as she see another guy, she want him the same way and is willing to give it. I don't want that. So I want the balanced woman. It's a mystery concerning Christ and his church. He's balanced. What you think his woman got to be? Where I am, there you may be. So woe unto you when all men speak well of you. So you have to be in between two worlds for people to have two opinions of you, don't you? Listen at that right there, little flock. Listen at that bit of wisdom. You have to appear between two worlds. I told you about Moses. I've revealed this mystery to you guys. Okay? In case you're wondering if the Spirit is here at the School of Marvelous Light, let's reveal it again. Moses said, how will the children of Israel know that you have sent me? Because I'm going to a rebellious people, as you guys always know that. Hard, stiff-necked people. How will they know? He said, put your hand in your bosom. And he pulled it out, and it was leprous as snow, which means unclean. And then he said, put it back in. And when he put it back in, it came out clean as normal. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, what does that mean? And if you're giving the correct answer to this because you heard this answer at the School of Marvelous Light, don't be afraid to speak up and say that. I learned this answer at the School of Marvelous Light. Don't be afraid to bear true witness. Love rejoices in the truth. Okay, now it's time to break down the mystery so that we can prove wisdom is justified of her own. Okay? Moses putting his hand in his garment and pulling it out represents appearing unclean, like I told you what leprosy means. You're going to do something with your hand, or in other words, extend yourself to do something that looks dirty and unclean when you do it. But put your hand back in. The intention of your heart, because that's where he's putting his hand in the bosom, but the intention of your heart is pure. See how it's clean again? So the act was unclean that you did, but when you reached your hand into your heart to show the intention of it, your hand came out clean. So the act was dirty, but your intention was clean. That's how they'll know. Okay, let's see if Moses actually had already done that. He said, I saw an Egyptian beating on my brother, and so I killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand. So you did something that was wrong, or leprous, or killing your brother, which makes you leprous. But your intention was pure, to protect your brother, to have compassion and love and support your brother. That's why you did it, so your intention was clean. The mystery has been revealed to you today in your hearing. Now, who did that? Who told me this? I guarantee you no man did. So then who did? He shall have the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of might, the spirit of counsel, the spirit of quick understanding. And he shall judge with equity for the poor. You see that, little flock? When you know who you is, you just be. You just be. So then when people say, hey, you're not clean because you did something seemingly unrighteous. You see that there? Then they didn't search the heart. So then they don't judge like God judges. So then this proves who they are. Just some over-righteous hypocrite Jew. who does the same damn thing. You see that there, little flock? He does the same thing you do, or else he couldn't be called a hypocrite. He couldn't be called a hypocrite unless he don't practice what he preach. He says something, but he don't do it. You see that there? So that's why a lot of difficult teachings, a lot of hard teachings are hard to accept, or as the Bible says, these are hard sayings. It just means that your heart ain't ready yet. That's all it means. You ain't been brought to the balance. You still think something's evil about it or something is too righteous about it. You asking too much of me, or you asking something wicked of me. Do you see what I'm saying to you? And so it is with you. So as I traveled through the years, like I told you, I was put in many situations where I had to make hard choices sometimes. I'll give you guys an example of one. I'm sitting in McDonald's one day, right? And I'm just sitting there, and like I said, this is one of them days we're living under the bridge. And we have no money, nothing to eat, no nothing. So we just be sitting there hungry as hell, just waiting to see what's going to happen. So I'm sitting there just pondering, okay, well, maybe if I got like 20 bucks, maybe I could get something to eat here. Just thinking about it. So I tell the witness, I said, well, I got to get up and use the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom. I look on the floor. There's a bunch of money laying there on the floor. Well, I won't say a bunch of money, but there was like 80 bucks laying there on the floor. I'm like, okay. So I pick it up and put it in my pocket. Next thing I know, I hear some groaning. I'm like, what the hell? Somebody's in that stall, because the stall door was closed, but the money was just out into the floor. Like whenever it had dropped, it dropped and kind of spread out underneath the floor. But I guess I happened to walk in at that precise time and saw that. I said, well, here's my opportunity that I asked for. So I pick it up and put it in my pocket. Now remember, I asked for 20, but there's 80 there. So I said, oh, snap, here we go, yeah. So the guy's like, oh, there's a guy in there. I look under the thing. I see him laying there with his ass out, pants down around his ankles, more money laying all around him there on the floor, and some drugs laying there. And he got some drugs open on the top of the toilet there that he didn't partook of, and got so high that he didn't pass out there. So I'm like, oh, well, hey, shit, gosh, here comes the choices. Okay, do I give this guy the money? I just said I needed this money. Now here it is, man. What do I do? So I said, well, I asked for 20. That's what I asked for. So I just took that and gave the rest back. Back in his pocket. And when I went to stick it back in his pocket, he was just laying there passed out, kind of like nodding. When I went to pick it back in his pocket, stick it back in the side of his pocket, because I wasn't just going to leave it on the floor. But when I went to do that, he freaked all out and everything. Oh, man, hey, man, shit. Oh, man, we can take him my money, man. He take him my fucking money, man. I was like, bro, chill out. Calm down, man. Relax, bro. I said, I'm putting it back in your pocket. He didn't want to hear that shit. Fuck this shit, man. Take my money, man. He's sitting there grabbing his money and shit, staggering it, slurring his words and drooling all over the place. Oh, he took my fucking money. Now I'm about to go call the fucking police, man. I said, man, you gonna call the police. I said, you the one in here in the bathroom at McDonald's passed out on the floor because you high as hell. Why you mad at me for seeing some money on the floor and picking it up and putting it in my pocket? Because you decided to get high and irresponsible and lay here on the floor with your ass and dick and shit all out exposed to everybody, nigga. And you talking about me? Shame on me? See how that work, little flock? That's what I did. And I told him, I said, you lucky I didn't take the shit. Now somebody hears that will go, oh my God, you see, he's wicked, he's unrighteous. You little flock? No, he's a balanced man. You just can't understand it or see it. That's all that is. So I say that as an example. And when I told him that, he humbled himself down. So if I were wrong, I don't think he would have, because he was very highly upset about it. He made a big fuss, came out the bathroom, went all into the lobby and started telling everybody and everything. And then that's when I laced him. I said, you the one laying in the bathroom with your ass all out getting high. I said, maybe you should stop getting high. You're so worried about money. Maybe you should stop spending so much of it on these damn drugs. And he said, yeah, you're right, man. That's what he said. He said, you're right. All right, dude. Now, thank you for the 20. Went on my damn day. You see that little flock? And me and the witness ate and went on about our day. You see that there? That's neither over righteous or over wicked. But see, the over wicked don't think something when they see that, and the over righteous man will. You see that there? Because they're always watching so that they can accuse. It's called the accuser of the brethren. What is he looking to accuse you of? Doing something wrong? Hey, Daddy, look. He ain't doing nothing right. look, guys, look. Because I told you what it is about Israel. If you're an Israelite, listen close to this today, because you're going to greatly benefit from this especially. The other nations know something about you. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If they come to attack you and you are not living in sin, then they cannot attack you because they know that you will run their ass up out of there. But if they happen to spy you out ahead of time and can accuse you of some sin, then they can attack you because then you're weak and then you will lose. The other nations know that. If you read the Bible, you know that because they said it themselves. Do not attack them guys if they're living in righteousness. Only attack them if you see them living in sin. So in other words, if they're not loving their neighbors, if they're going around doing hateful shit to each other, then attack them. Because they're proving that they're not listening to God by being so damn hateful. Because how do you prove that you are a child of God? There's only one way you can. I'll ask anybody. So anybody talk about doing this and doing this and doing this to please God. Love will. The same thing I keep telling you guys always does it. It always does it. You see right there? You start to understand what's truly is stealing. It's a premeditated thing that goes down in your heart because that's what's being judged, and you start to know it. And so you don't overjudge yourself. You see that there? Man, damn, you could have took that nigga whole $100 or whatever it was that fell out of there. But shit, you just took what you needed. It's just the truth. And I'm just telling you guys honestly, judge me if you want to. I took what I need. Shit. His ass shouldn't have been laying in there hot with his dick all out, like I told you. Then that never would have happened to him. Maybe that was the lesson that he needed. Like I said, I told him the truth and he said, you're right. So maybe that's what he needed, is be hurt by a little bit, nigga. You wasted your money on this shit, so let me take some money and give it to somebody who need it. But y'all can't see that because y'all too damn hard-hearted to understand things like that. Y'all think things belong to people. I keep telling you that they don't. If they do, then what happens to the man's things when he dies? Do they disappear? When his ass turned to dust, do they turn the dust right with him? Or are they still sitting there for somebody else to take up? Well, the Bible already told you what the wicked are doing. They're stacking up riches for the righteous. So they're doing it in vain. They don't even know it. They're stacking up all that gold and all that luxury living and all that just for me. Thank you very much. Stack it right on up there nice and high. Because the curse of ill-gotten gain, you see, the curse of it is that what? You reap what you sow. That damn simple. You reap what you sow. So you just understand what you're sowing. I'm harmless, but I'm wise as well. Shit. If this little $20 hurt you so bad of losing it, then you sure wouldn't be laying on the floor hot. So then don't front right now and act like it's hurting you that bad. Be grateful I didn't take it all. You see that there, little fly? Okay, let's get another example. I've been studying with these brothers. This is way back in 2015. Okay? This will show you about over-righteousness and piousness and everything. So at this time, we're all around the table. We don't eat any meat. We don't eat anything unclean. We keep the Sabbath day holy. We do the law. You see that there? Let's make it plain and clear to everybody. But I had been translated when I went on in the 40, see? But 2015, I told you, that's the over-righteous man. There he is. You see that there? Gotta do this right and do this right and keep this holy day and keep this right here and keep this right there and do that. Moses. You see right there? Well, went on in the 40, came back. Now, those same guys that were sitting there with me, they were the same way. Don't eat meat, don't do this, don't do that, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Well, my sister's having a barbecue at her house. Okay? Now, I'm fresh out to 40, guys, remember. I'm about a week out at this point. So I'm feeling good, looking good, all healthy. I done got my weight back. I'm looking all beautiful and rejuvenated. As my dad said, a high-definition version of myself, like a newborn baby. So I go where everybody's hanging out over there at my sister's house, so I go. Well, my sister loved to cook, and one of the things she loved to do is watch me eat her cooking. Because when I eat her cooking, I make sure she know how good it is. I make sure she be knowing it. She made the best macaroni and cheese for sure, and every time I would eat that, I would make sure she knew it. Like, yes, this is what I came for. I didn't want to get nobody else macaroni. I came all the way here for my sisters. Come on with it now. Give me all of it now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was about it. And her cheesecake and all kind of stuff that she made. You see? So she's like, oh, I'm cooking this food. Come over and hang out. I'm like, for sure. So like I said, I'm fresh out to 40, so I've been transformed to become a new creation. See there, little flocker? See? So she's had some barbecue meat sitting up there. Some of them which is hamburgers, some of them which is chicken, some of them which is hot dogs. Now my sister knows all of this, how I've been living, you see, like that? But she didn't say anything, she just cooks it up. Now I know my sister cooks with love. That's why I'm always dancing around doing a jig every time I eat her cooking, see? Because she make it with love and great intention. I want to see you joyful when you eat it. She just sits there watching. It's like my grandmother would do the same thing. Cook a whole big ass meal for, she had 7 children herself. And then when they started having children, she had a whole lot of grandchildren, see? And a lot of her children never really left the nest. They kind of stayed around and just all cohabitated for the most part. Some of them. A few of them branched off, my dad being one of them. You see? But a lot of the grandchildren stayed there. So my grandmother had her kids and the grandkids all staying in the same house, 14 people at one point. And she would cook meals and you wouldn't even see her eating afterwards. She's just sitting there, laughing, telling stories, watching everybody else eat. You see that there? Because that's the joy she get from it. Well, if that's the intention, I know it's going to be good. And it was, little plot. I can tell you right there. Florine Vance can cook some food now. I'm telling you that right now. All right. So now, she's got this food all sitting up there. So everybody's in the kitchen getting their food. So I grab my plate and grab me 2 barbecue hot dogs off the rip. Because that's how I get down at a barbecue. I got to have a couple hot dogs first before I think about anything. I can't think good at a barbecue unless I had a few barbecue hot dogs and hamburgers, for sure. I don't even know how I end up with the plate with all the, the potato salad and macaroni and all the fixings and rolls and all that shit that come. I still be eating that too. But I be shocked because I be like, I know I ate 2 hamburgers and 2 hot dogs with the buns and everything. I know I did. And I'm about to eat this whole plate of food. I'm about to enjoy that too. But I gotta have that warm-up appetizer, which starts with them 2 damn hot dogs. So I grab 2 of them, throw them on the bun, throw them down my gut. One of the guys looks at me and goes, "Hey!" He runs over there. He's like, "Hey." I'm like, "What?" He starts whispering. He goes, "Hey, man, you ain't supposed to eat that. See, little flock of leaders? See, little flock, what I'm saying to you. See, little flock." We in sync. Into you. We in sync right now, little flock, okay? See what I'm saying to you, girl? He came right over there. "Hey, you're not supposed to do that." See what I mean by over-righteous? Over-righteous. I said, "What?" He said, "Man, that's pork, I think." I said, "I don't know whether it's pork, beef. I don't know what it is. I ain't gonna ask either. I'm just eating it." He said, "Why, man? I thought you said you weren't supposed to eat that." I said, "Because my sister's intention is why I'm eating it. She made everything she made in this house right now with great love, man. She wants us to be happy. So I'm going to be happy and enjoy it because my sister's going to get joy and life from that. She won't get it from me being strict, sitting here saying, "What's in that? Did you make that specially for?" Okay, well, damn, you didn't do that. I can't partake. I'm out of here. The hell with all that, man. Let love lead you, man. He was confounded by that, you see. And them brothers soon after didn't stay around anymore. They kind of departed off and did their own things after that. What do I mean they departed? They listened and followed all the way up until I sat them down one day with tears in my eyes and said, "Hey, brothers, guess what? The conclusion of the whole thing that I have taught, that I have spoken to you, all this preaching, all these hours, these sleepless nights of us sitting around my dining room table at my house, pouring over the scriptures, all comes to this, that we love one another." And that's all that we've truly been doing here tonight, brothers. That's all we were doing. Spending time together over the word, man, crying, hugging each other, loving each other. That's what's important. Not, "Brother, you ate that fucking hot dog, man." Okay, so we're going to let that disrupt the love that we've shared over these last months? We can't love each other now because of that? And that's the problem, little flock. It's distorting the love. It's tearing the love down, trying to be over-righteous. That's what the Israelites were doing. And y'all can't see it today. You're going to make the same mistake the ancient Israelites made because of unbelief. Because you won't enter into the rest that he has to you. It's already available. People that's waiting for the rest, it's already available when you enter in. Choose this day. Today salvation has come into this house. So then just choose. You can either rest or you can labor in vain. It's one or the other. Solomon told you what to do. He told you. So, that was another example of what I'm describing to you. But look what it costs. Look what a hot dog costs. "Oh, man, that nigga fake, man. That nigga tripping, bro." Okay, but you cheat on your wife. Let's keep it real. You cried in my drive. The same nigga with the hot dog. Watch this shit, little flock, what I'm telling you right now. The same nigga talking about, that's a hot dog. Oh, I can't fuck with this nigga no more. He wicked. This the same nigga that's sitting in my driveway at my house crying, talking about how he's cheating on his wife, how he's so unhappily married. They still together to this day. Unhappily. Because he just won't be honest with his wife and tell her the truth. So you righteous because you didn't eat a hot dog, nigga. But you can't even tell your wife the truth about how the fuck you feel every day you lay down next to her. You think about some other bitches. You living a lie every damn day. But you talking about me eating a hot dog? Do you see what I mean, little flock? How they deny the weightier matters? The other nigga looking at me talking about I'm unclean because I eat meat. She don't eat no meat. But yet he's admitted to me personally out of his mouth that he has actually murdered 2 people. And another time I heard him talk about how he was driving on the freeway, chopping somebody's body into pieces in the back seat and throwing the body parts on the freeway to hide the shit. But you're telling me that I'm wicked if I eat meat. The fuck? But you can murder and shed blood and it's all right. It's justified. Interesting. You see the hypocrisy that I've been looking at that brought me to a balance? To make me really see the truth that it's about the heart. It ain't about what you doing outside because you can disguise with that shit like that nigga do. Going through the hood with a Bible in his Gucci backpack talking about, hey y'all, man, y'all need to get in these scripts, little niggas out here in the streets, man. Y'all need to get into these scriptures, then I will help you, man, make you into a king, man. Same nigga standing in front of his son talking about, say this, I'm a king, I'm a God, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Making them chant this shit over while you out there trying to stack up more bodies and dead bodies and chase more dollar bills and, as you say, do whatever it takes to get some damn dollars. One of the niggas sitting at the table, oh, that nigga, I heard that nigga put his hands on his ex-wife and choked her in the kitchen one time. Oh, that nigga fucked up, man. That nigga ain't shit, man. We can't listen to that nigga no more. This the same nigga that I hear a couple years later that went home and had sex with my ex-wife. So I'm wicked because she pissed me off because she was being extremely rude, disrespectful, and hateful that day. And I grabbed her by her neck and told her to calm her ass down. So I'm wicked and wrong because I did that. But you're not wicked when you go behind my back when I'm put out. Like I told you, 2018, I leave. My divorce was in 2017. So I'm already gone. Next thing I know, I come back. I told you in the Audi, hey, man, you know that nigga done fucked old girl, man. Hell yeah, man, that nigga told everybody, man. Go ask your family, man. They all know about it and everything. So I go around my family and start asking them, hey, guys, what's up with I hear about old boy? We was sitting around the table with us, right? He's supposed to be family, right? What's this I'm hearing about it? They all played dumb. I don't know. Shit, I don't know. The same one that got mad about the hot dog, I asked him straight up to his face. I said, hey, did he do it? He said, I don't know. So then I asked another man, well, what do you know about this situation? He said, ask old boy, the one that said I don't know. He said, ask him, he know all the details. But when I asked him, he said he didn't know. Do you guys see this? This was the niggas sitting around my table talking about Abba Yah, yes, Yahweh Ba'Shem this, Yahweh Ba'Shem Barakatah that. See what I'm trying to say today? We don't love like that. We love with what we do. So what did you do? Well, when you was gone, I lusted after your woman and had sex with her, the mother of your children, your ex-wife. I had sex with her, man. So then why were you sitting around my table listening? What was in your heart? What was your purpose? Shit, really just to get over there to see your wife. Shit, let's be real about it. All right, then. So y'all see, little flock, how this shit be going? You see how the test? You don't think that tested me? Okay, let's see if it did test me. So after I heard about the guy had did this, I'm like, all right. I saw his ass. He's sitting in the Audi. I just got back. I'm sitting with the guy I was living with at the time. And that guy who happened to walk past and see us and got in the car and said, hey, man, damn, I ain't seen you in a while, man. I'm like, yeah, I've been out of town for a while. Needless to say, I had already heard this news. Abba had already told me. Before anybody told me, Abba told me it happened. And he told me who did it. So I already knew. So when I saw him, I was already like, yeah, I'm good. I'm straight. I was just in the car looking straight forward. He in the back seat trying to talk and everything. He saw the energy was off. He just got out the car and left. He didn't say anything. So some years go by. I happened to see this man year 2022. 2022, we happened to run into each other. Now I've known this since 2018. See what I'm saying? All the years that I've just been waiting to see. Everybody's been lying, saying, no. Didn't happen. Okay. But they all say it did happen when I'm not around. But when I come around, they said it didn't, or they don't know anything. All right. So then he happens to come to where I'm at. He don't know I'm there. But when he comes to this house, he sees me sitting there. He goes, oh, man, I've been trying to see you, man. We need to talk about a few things. I said, like what? He said, man, that situation with blank, old girl's name. He said, that situation with old girl, man. I said, well, what about it? We can talk about it right now. He's like, well, I mean, I know you probably heard some shit, man. They're spreading around rumors talking about, man, I had fucked her and shit. I said, well, did you? He said, hell no, man, I ain't do that shit, man. I wouldn't do that shit. I ain't that type of nigga, bro. I don't do that shit, man. Especially the family, bro. I wouldn't do that shit to family, bro. I'm not that kind of nigga. You think I'm that kind of nigga, bro? You believe that shit? I said, I'm just asking you. That your yay be yeah and your nay be nay was what I was thinking in my mind. Oh, shit, yeah, this nigga guilty as hell. But I already knew that anyway because Abba told me. So I said, okay, he's still not willing to tell me. So then what should I have done, little flock? Well, tell you what I did do. I said, all right, then. And he was like, man, it don't seem like you believe me, man. I said I didn't, but it don't seem like you believe me. So what difference do it make whether I believe you or not? You know the truth, don't you? You know it, she know it. If y'all didn't do it, then cool. If you did, then whatever. It is what it is. It ended up to me. He started getting all offended and start calling me names. And man, this nigga tripping, man. I don't like the way you talking to me, bro. I don't like the way you trying to make me feel like a little nigga, man. Blah, 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 blah. Rah, 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 all in my face and everything. I said, man, you like you want to fight or something. I said, if you didn't do it, why are you so amped up and ready to fight? I'm down for whatever, nigga. I'm down for whatever. I'm like, well, do you want to fight? Do you want to? Because I don't. I straight up told him that. I said, because I don't want to. You said you didn't do it. Why would I want to fight you for not being with my ex-wife? That don't even make sense. Nigga, see how you crazy you looking? Oh, man, this nigga trying to be all God and everything. This nigga think he's sweet shit. Well, whatever. He went on his day. I went on my damn day. You see that there little flock right here? Didn't I tell you it's about going through vicissitudes and tests to see how you would treat your brother? In that moment, do you think I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat or what I'm going to wear or if I did this or if I did that right or if I have my fringes on or not? When that dude's standing there talking their lies to me, I'm thinking, what's the loving way to deal with this? Believe all things. He said he didn't. Whether that's true or not, it's not up to me. Is it? See? He knows it. So his thoughts and his conscience are going to bear witness against him, not me. I didn't do anything wrong. All I wanted to do was forgive you. That's all I was prepared to do. I've told this story before as well. You see, little flock? But being around certain people, as they said with Yahusha, he hang out with sinners. Why do you think they said that about him? He hanging out with publicans, man. He hang around with filthy people. I started this message with Paul. You got an over righteous side and over wicked side. And you got to come to a balance, man. And so the poor, watch the balance I'm describing. A poor man, when he get hungry, he may steal something to eat it. See? So in other words, the man is saying, if I had the funds to pay for it, I would gladly do it. I would happily run up there to the cash register, slapping that shit down, give the lady, a clerk, an extra $100 bill and everything. But since I don't have anything, but I'm hungry, I gotta just take, man, what I can get. Now, an over-righteous man won't understand that. Abba has a way of making him understand. It's called 7. He'll make your ass understand then. I tell you that right now. Because when he strips your ability away to just throw the money and say, hey, here you go. Yeah. And now you're that poor man. And you get hungry. Then you will fight in war and scream in agony on the inside, trying not to grab that damn sandwich you see on that table. Because you're going to remember the way you treated that man who snatched it and ran up the alley and ate it. You're going to remember how you thought about him and how you hated him then. And you're going to hate yourself. You're going to see your sin, just like Paul did with Stephen. That's why I described it earlier to you. Then you'll see it and say, damn, I was wicked as fuck. What a wretched man I am. That means the same thing. Y'all see that today, little flock? you'll see yourself truly. I was judgmental as hell about gnats. I strained at a gnat. Y'all just said all of these things. The man stole a sandwich, as if that's going to change the trajectory of the earth on its axis. And we're all going to die. The sun going to shoot a solar flare and kill us all because that man snatched that sandwich. The fuck? You got $300 in your pocket. Just buy another fucking sandwich and shut the fuck up and stop judging. See how it's not over righteous or over wicked, which means I'm telling you the right thing, but I'm saying it kind of a way that's making you mad because I'm using all this vulgar language. That's because I'm in a tightrope. The narrow, the straight. That's why. Kid, y'all don't understand what I'm saying? Okay, let me make it more plain. You have two children in a math class. They're the same age, they're in the same grade, but yet one is better at math than the other one. And back when I was in school, they had like advanced classes. So the kids that were better, they were like in advanced math, you see? But they're the same age and in the same grade. Well, the teacher has to meet each student on his level of understanding. So he has to speak a distinct language to both students. The one who's more advanced can understand a more advanced language, you see? But the one who's more base in his understanding has to use a more base language so that he can understand, so that you can bring them both up to level, or the plane, as I call it, to make it fair with equity, because that's what the grandson of right thought do. I judge with equity for the poor and the meek, because they need somebody to lift them up to balance. Because the ones who are rich have elevated themselves and pushed the poor down. The poor need to come up to balance. They need to know the things, how the rich did what they did. The poor need to know that now. How the free got free. The slaves need to know that now. Because the free are going into slavery and the slaves are becoming free. Just that simple, little flock. The first shall be last, the last shall be first. Just that simple, little flock. So, like I said, as you're going to be broken down, which is the sum of this message, to a place where you can't judge harsh anymore. You just can't do it. You're going to have to find a balance in order to preserve life. Because you have to do it when someone breaks into your house and says, I'm about to rape your woman and steal your kids and sex traffic them. Well, Dad, you got to make a choice. Now, if you happen to kill those men in the midst of defending your family, then Abba's going to look at the intent of your heart. And that leprous hand you have, he's going to dip it in your heart. It's going to come out clean. Because when it was dipped in, the heart matched Christ's heart. So the blood of Christ cleansed it. Because that is what cleanses. Come on, grandson, give it to him raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Get that there, little flock. So like I said, man, be neither over righteous or over wicked much. And the vicissitude will do it. Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll learn when you don't have the things that you need and yet you still want them. Then you'll learn. You'll say, I got to stop being too damn over righteous, bro. I got to give myself some grace somewhere. Well, if you learn to give yourself some grace, guess what you'll start doing with your brother? You'll learn to give him grace. So do you understand the story I told you earlier about the guy? He judged harshly, but then when he became poor, he saw how the judgment affected that person as being judged. Because now he's the one saying, I was just hungry. I was tired of starving, man. I just wanted something to eat. It was right there, so I took it. That's how that other man felt when you beat his ass for taking the sandwich. It's always about the ones that have a lot, taking from the ones who don't have much. It's called iniquity. That's what David had to learn. Man had 1,000 sheep. He took the sheep of the man who only had one. Why you want to take his when you already got 1,000? That man only got one. See what I mean? See what I mean? So, we'll continue with this little flock until it's all out. Until it's all out. You see? So that when you go through it, like I said, you have a reference to go back to and say, nope, Stay cool-headed, stay in self-control, stay peaceful, stay faithful in the end of the thing that I hope for. This right here is just a passing through, and it shall indeed pass. Silouan Misra Allah.